Dear students, today we are going to study the poem, A Photograph, by Shirley Toulson. This poem is a poignant tribute to the poet's mother, capturing three different stages of time. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling. Explanation. The poet is looking at an old photograph mounted on a stiff, cardboard frame. It depicts a scene from the past where her mother's two girl cousins, Betty and Dolly, were walking in shallow water at the beach. Each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl, some 12 years or so. Explanation. In the photo, the two younger cousins are holding on to the poet's mother's hands for support. The poet's mother is the oldest in the group, about 12 years old at the time. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face. Explanation. The girls are posing for the poet's uncle, who is taking the picture. Their hair is flying across their faces due to the beach wind, but they are smiling through it. The poet specifically notices her mother's sweet and innocent face. My mother's, that was before I was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less. Explanation. This photo was taken long before the poet was even born. The poet observes a sharp contrast here. While the people in the photo have grown old or passed away, the sea in the background looks exactly the same, as if it hasn't aged at all. Washed their terribly transient feet. Some 20, 30 years later. Explanation. The terribly transient feet refers to the fact that human life is temporary and constantly changing, unlike the eternal sea. The poem then fast-forwards 20 to 30 years from when the photo was taken. She'd laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she'd say, and look how they. Explanation. Years later, the mother would look at this old photo with the poet and laugh. She would point out her cousins, Betty and Dolly, amused by their appearance as children. Dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both worry. Explanation. The mother would comment on the odd way their parents dressed them for the beach. The poet notes that while the beach holiday was a happy memory from her mother's past, the sound of her mother's laughter has now become the poet's own past. With the labored ease of loss. Now she's been dead nearly as many years. Explanation. Both the poet and her mother struggle to deal with their respective losses. The mother lost her childhood, and the poet lost her mother. They try to accept these losses with a forced, labored sense of ease. The poet then reveals that her mother has been dead for about 12 years. As that girl lived. And of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. Explanation. Ironically, the mother has been dead for the same number of years, 12, as her age in the photograph. Faced with the finality of death and this circumstance, the poet finds herself completely speechless. Its silence silences. Explanation. The finality of her mother's death creates a vacuum of silence. This silence is so overwhelming that it prevents the poet from expressing her grief, leaving her in a state of quiet resignation.